We are back and black in the building. What is going on? We made it back. Man. Shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation doing what they need to do to survive. Look, damn, Mike almost dropping shit. Shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation handling business. Shout out to my brother Dave for No Compromise, Joja in the building. My brother James Youngblood, Texas is definitely in the building. Shout out to the homegirl Erica, Florida in the building, aka Florida. Shout out to everyone out there. Shout out to the homegirl Shawnee, Philly's in the building. Hey, happy Easter everybody. If you celebrated Easter and said your Easter speech and had on your, you had your Easter basket and all that other bullshit, shout out to y'all. Who went to church? I know y'all did. You better stop lying. Motherfucker like, well, you ain't go to church. Look, I did a long time in the church. So I know exactly how the church offerings and everything go. Except wasn't nobody doing no close the doors. Close the doors. Well, they didn't do that at our church. That would have been some shit if somebody did that. I can hear my cousins, my sister right now. What you mean close the doors? Nah, they didn't do that at my church. That's one thing I can't say. They didn't do or conduct themselves like that at church. So I don't have that viewing, and I don't have that perspective. I've never been in a church where they kind of strong-arm me like that. So Easter Sinners. I don't know if you guys have checked out the new movie by Michael B. Jordan and the great producer Fruitville Station and all the other ones. I'm blanking on the brother's name right now, but he's from the Bay Area. We're going to talk about it right now. Let's get it. Man. Yeah, man. Sinners. I think it was a great movie. Michael B. Jordan, along with God, what is that? What is that brother's name? I'm blanking on his name right now. He's the producer. What was his name? What's the cast? Let's see. Yeah. Omar Benson. He didn't produce it, but he's been in a lot of stuff too. He was in Ballers. Very, very, very good actor. That one sister, she's non-foundational, but she did a good job. The cast, they did a great job. They did a great job. And of course, Ryan Coogler. But I was blanking on, not the producer, Ryan Coogler, I apologize, but the dude, Omar Benson. Miller, he's a great actor, and we've seen him in a lot of stuff. He's from Mississippi, so a lot of these people from that girl. It was a girl, the one of the main characters. She played in Bumblebee. I didn't even know that was her. She played in Bumblebee. She's played in a lot of stuff, but she played in Bumblebee. She did a really good job in Bumblebee. She was young though. That was like 2018, so she was not super young, but younger. Nah, that was a good movie, man. Happy Easter, everybody. But I just want to, spoiler, so if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to give too much of the movie away. This is going to be a quick one, but I just wanted to touch on it. Well, it takes place in Mississippi, which is dope. I like all the intricate details. At first, I was like, okay, Ryan Coogler, where the fuck you going? Because I know how you are. You are very deep, brother. I don't like how they did Black Panther 2, but you know what I mean? Like, was the film to redeem himself, in my personal opinion. And you can tell him and Michael B. J, they had their hands all over this film. They did a great job. Michael B. Jordan, man, I'm sorry, man, but he's going to take the reins. They're passing the baton to him. That nigga could act his ass off. I'm sorry. I don't care what y'all niggas talking about. He did a great job. It was a great movie to me. And I advise everybody to go see it. And I'm just going to give my kind of reviews of what I kind of caught the first time I saw it. I caught how it very much showed the slave plantations, the chain gangs. You know what I mean? Us building the railroads. You know, working in the coal mine, going down, 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 down. Very, very, very good opening scenes. They bestow the history, and it's a very big twist on it. It's kind of like that movie with Antonio Banderas and I forgot the other lady's name. From Dusk Till Dawn, but different, way more history and things like that. They have a hoodooist, and I'm not gonna give it all away, but the hoodooist, she was cold. Because that's a foundational Black American art form and religious form of practicing religion will be hoodoo, and she had all types of herbs, and she was very, very knowledgeable about energy and conjuring spirits, and it was just dope. It was really dope. It gave you a perspective of how, you know, when you grew up in church and you singing what they used to call the blues and all this other stuff, and what ended up happening was, you know, one of the characters in the movie, just like how we was as kids growing up, you playing the blues, you're not supposed to be playing the blues, you playing the blues, you're supposed to be playing church music, and he was playing the blues, and basically, like, you know, playing the blues will conjure up energy and spirits, and you can see the past, and it'll conjure up the present. You know what I mean? And it had some scenes in there. It had a scene in there, and the movie had a scene where it had some Native Americans in there, and I was thinking like, oh shit, here we go. Is the Native Americans gonna steal a scene? But no, they just. This is what I got from the Native American scene. Okay. They gonna chase you out when it's time to be, but when the shit gets tough, the Native Americans are out of here, which is no diss to the Native Americans. The Native Americans did their job. Hey, look, if we're whooping there with you, y'all might want to get them up out of there, man, because, you know, that shit ain't nothing to be played with. And then the Native Americans, when they saw shit was getting heavy, they was like, all right, man, do peace up, A-Town down. We ain't finna be sitting out here playing with y'all. Them Native Americans weren't playing with them white people. They was like, oh, all right, well, you know, I'm out of here. And Michael B. Jordan, he acted his ass off. They had these two main characters, which Michael B. Jordan's characters is Stack and Smoke. He played twins. He did a good damn job. It was dope. The hoodoo part I really liked because that's a part of foundational Black American culture. So I really like that because they want to frame the narrative that all the herbs and spices all came from Africa and we didn't know nothing and all this other shit. And you better don't forget about Marie Laveau. That's what they need to do a movie about. I hope Tariq Nasheed does a movie about her. She cold. They were scared as fuck of Marie Laveau because I got, I think, 2 books on Marie Laveau. I got to read them too. I read the introduction, and then I read the back, and then I read the kind of the introduction just to kind of see the synopsis of what it was, and I was like, ooh, this book gonna be cold. Yep. So it was a great film. It gave you a great twist on what history is. Yes, it did show some plantation working and sharecropping and all this other stuff because it took place in like the 20s or the 10s, 20s, and the 30s. So it was a very good energy set movie. You see how the energy was going, and it did show that Black folk, they just wanted to have their own business and do what they need to do. But the dominant society always has another plan, and the hoodoo is called the dominant society hate. When they just want to kill and do certain things, oh, you got that hate in you. You got that hate in you. And it does turn, I'm pretty sure y'all seen the commercials. It does turn into a vampire thing, but I like it because I feel like Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan took the perspective of the underworld. Y'all really need to go watch The Underworld. It is talking about what Neely Fuller Jr. is talking about. Racism, white supremacy, and establishing a system of justice. Making sure the racial group that needs the most constructive help gets the most constructive help. In the underworld, you have the vampires who were white, who lived a very, very meaningful, pleasant, great life. And the werewolves, who were strong, could go out in the sun. They lived in the slums. They were poor. They had to protect the vampires sometimes. And they were slaves. And they had you know what I mean? And the black dude who wrote the movie, it was a black dude who wrote it, who was in the first Underworld. And then he was in the prequel, The Rise of the Lycans, because they would call the werewolves the Lycans. Y'all got to go watch that movie. A black man wrote that movie, produced it, and it's a very big racial movie. No commingling of the bloodlines. They had one of the eldest vampires. His name was Victor. And he was one of the elders. It was Victor and William. William was like half werewolf, and they would call him the Beast. And William was a vampire. He was like William was one of the oldest werewolves, but they always kept him locked up. And Victor, he did not want the commingling of the bloodlines. He just did not want commingling of that, because he knew genetic annihilation, as Dr. Francis West Welsing talks about. Y'all need to go watch this movie. I'm not playing with y'all. Go watch the movie. Go watch The Underworld. See, y'all don't even know this. A black man wrote that movie and produced it, because it's a black man that's in the movie. He wrote and produced it. They had a whole BET special about it. It came out in 2003. That's what made me go see the movie. I remember I told everybody about that movie. I went and saw it at the Texas. I'm like, this movie is going to be a great movie. They had a whole BET special about that brother and everything. And it was talking about no commingling of the bloodlines. Because Victor, the oldest vampire, he was stronger than everybody. Everybody was scared of him. But he knew if they were to commingle the bloodlines, there would be something that would be stronger than him. So he didn't want the commingling of the bloodlines. And in The Rise of the Lycans, which was the prequel to The Underworld, Victor had a daughter who was fucking with one of the werewolves. And when he found out, he burned his own daughter up and killed her and the baby. If that doesn't sound like racism, white supremacy to me, then I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. So go see that movie, because when you watch Sinners, it'll make sense to you. You know, when you see where it's coming from. Sharecroppers picking cotton back in the day. All we had was the blues and music and jazz and stuff like that. So, and that white girl that played in Bumblebee, I think her last name is Steinfeld or Haley Steinfeld. Yeah, she did a great job. I didn't even remember that was her. She did a great job. And her angle was basically, I like the angles, because the twins that Michael B. Jordan played, Stack and Smoke, I don't know if it was Stack or Smoke, one of them was with the white woman, but he was like, nah, I can't be with you because it's not gonna be safe. It's not gonna be safe for you, and it's not gonna be safe for me. So I'm gonna just leave you where you stand, because it's not gonna be safe. And he knew how the clan was. Both brothers did. They weren't dumb. These were intelligent brothers who kind of knew what it was. And and what I liked about it was with Smoke and Stack, both of them, they were very intelligent, but one just wouldn't let up on the bullshit. One would just be like, nah, I don't trust none of you motherfuckers, and y'all full of shit. They didn't trust the clan. They didn't trust nobody, because the clan was very active. The clan was trying to, the clan don't exist no more. Man, them brothers, Stack Smoke was like, man, you'll get your ass the fuck up out of here. They had some Asians in there, but there were Asians in Mississippi at that time, because I think that's around the time when we were fighting for racial equality for immigrants and stuff like that. And when I mean we, I'm talking about foundational Black Americans. I got to get some more books on that, and I got to reach out to my brother Dave from No Compromise and James Youngblood. But if I'm not mistaken, David, wasn't that around the time when we was fighting for racial equality for immigrants because of how they was being treated? I can't remember. I don't know which book I read that in. I know it was in Black Labor, White Wealth, but they had some Asians in the movie, but it wasn't. At first, you're like, oh shit, Ryan, where you going, Ryan Coogler? But then you saw, you like, okay, this shit makes sense. Very, very good movie. Very good movie. And at the end, I'm not even gonna say at the end, but they had shout out to DTP's Shauna. See, I know this because, you know, I come from the era of reading CDs and credits and all this other stuff and following artists. And Shauna from DTP from Chicago, her dad, which people don't even know, but I knew this a long time ago. Her dad is Buddy Guy, a famous jazz musician out of Chicago. A famous jazz musician. Like, everybody knows who Buddy Guy is. And that's Shauna from DTP's father. That's her blood relative, her blood dad. So he was in that movie, and he had a great perspective of how he looked at things. And it just, I like the way it was. Like I said, that scene, you know, where you had the Haley Stanfield, the white woman, because even she, I guess, she plays a mulatto. Like, her grandfather is half black. So she kind of played that, but I like Stack and Smoke's character. Like, nah, we can't fuck with you because it ain't safe and the clan is still well and alive. But it was a great movie, a great energy movie on how, you know, conjuring up those spirits with music and the power behind the energy behind singing blues music or jazz music or gospel music. Like, y'all gotta go check it out. It was a dope movie. It just was a dope movie all around. Great acting. They had Delroy Lindo in there. They had a lot of good actors in that movie. Very, very good movie. Michael B. Jordan, I really like this movie because I like the twist on where it went. And like I said, the energy behind it and the law of rhythm. Basically meaning black folk, this is what I'm taking off of. Black people are so powerful when they sing and they tap in to that melanin and it starts vibrating at a higher vibration. You can tap into raw spirits, nature. You know what I mean? And you can conjure up the past and the present and the future. I thought that was really dope. I was like, dang, they really taking it there. But like I said, go check it out, man. Support Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. I'm very proud of them about this movie. And like I said, everybody, they did a good job. It wasn't your typical vampire type. Nah. It just wasn't your typical. It was history behind it. And it was dope. And what I'm telling you, I'm not spoiling it for you because you still got to go watch it. You have to go watch it. Michael B. Jordan acted his ass off. He did great. I'm proud of Michael B. Jordan. I'm proud of Ryan Coogler, Brandon Miller, all of them people that was in that movie. Even that sister, she's non-foundational, but she did a good job. I wish they would have found a foundational Black American to play, but that's okay. The leads were foundational Black Americans, so that's all that mattered. And that was Michael B. Jordan. I really suggest y'all go play it, go watch the movie, and leave your comments and tell me what y'all think. I thought it was I really did. All around, I thought it was probably going to be one of the best movies of the year. Hey, man, go check it out. Because it's a teachable moment. You learn a lot, and you understand exactly about energy. That's what I kept getting, the energy behind our singing. Like when I see other racial groups sing our stuff, there's not a vibration there. Like, I can't connect to it because it's not your art form. But when I hear a Jasmine Sullivan sing, y'all have no idea what it does to my melanin. I know it does it to yours too. When you hear a Mario sing, or Jagged Edge, or Drew Hill, Cisco from Drew Hill, or you hear Shaka Khan or Luther, or when you hear those people, or Whitney, when we listen to Whitney Houston's "I'm Your Baby Tonight," not only is it nostalgia, it is energy behind that. When you hear us sing, when you go to a black church and listen to that choir and whoever's singing that solo can really sing, y'all know what it do to you. It really does. It changes your whole perspective, your vibe, your energy. And there's a certain frequency and energy behind singing. And in this movie, they kind of break it down. And it's very, very, I believe that. I believe it with all my heart, because when you, like I said, when I listen to a Jasmine Sullivan, like she had that one song, I never leave the crib without my makeup, when she kind of going to the store, and you just listen to the song, just listen to her sing, you like, man, she cold. When you listen to a tweet, and just listen to a tweet with the harmonies and everything. Even a Carrie Hilson, when you listen to it, go listen to Carrie Hilson's first album and just listen to it. You're like, damn, she cold. I'm not talking about the looks. I'm just talking about her singing, the harmonies that are arranged. Like, y'all don't understand. Some of y'all do. It vibrates at a higher level than what you think. And I really think people should go see this movie because it breaks a lot of that down. And it breaks down when we sing, not us, but when Foundation Black Americans, when we sing and we're singing and there's a vibration that's raising, it's tapping into the law of rhythm, right? So now you're raising your vibration, but you know what it does? It also attracts negativity. It attracts a real terrible spirit too, because the dominant society, as David has told me, and he ain't lying, and as Nelly Fuller Jr. has told us, the dominant society is the masters of confusion. So when the dominant society hears the singing, what do you think they thinking? Ooh, money. We can fuck these niggas over. We can do whatever we want because this sounds so beautiful. So remember that energy ain't nothing to be played with. Hey man, guilty nigga. I'm out. Go check out the movie. Peace.